It seems like the understanding of some cases regarding the natural sciences, such as Wakefield and his vaccine, are in fact impacted by one's faith. For example, the controversy over the existence of evolution has been debated for centuries due to some people's faith in their religion. Perhaps one of the most famous debates concerning evolution occurred during the Scopes monkey trial, in which John Scopes, a biology teacher of a public school in Tennessee, was put on trial for illegally teaching human evolution to his students. In the early 1900s, the Christian community of Tennessee strongly opposed the idea of evolution because it went against their beliefs in the book of Genesis and the Bible, which they thought of as the absolute truth. Ultimately, the jury found Scopes guilty. But this serves as an excellent example on how one's faith can influence the understanding of the sciences. In this case, the Christian community's faith in Genesis as the origin of humanity caused them to resist the evolutionary theory. Their faith in their religion led to an alternate understanding of the creation of man. In contrast, if one was to use reason as a way of knowing, then their understanding of evolution would be much easier. Because evolution is based on fact, scientific evidence, and reason, faith does little to facilitate one's understanding.
On the other hand, in some cases, faith doesn't affect understanding at all. For example, let's take the link between intelligence and genetics. First off, one's intelligence can be measured by one's ability to understand various situations or problems, as well as the speed with which they can do so. Intelligence can also be correlated to how many neural connections are found in the brain. However, this ability to understand multiple viewpoints or situations was shown to be rooted in one's genetics, not in one's faith. A study conducted by King's College in London in 2014 discovered a gene linking the thickness of gray matter to intelligence. The researchers looked at the cerebral cortex, which is the outermost layer of the human brain, also known as gray matter, that plays a key role in memory, attention, perceptual awareness, thought, language, and consciousness. Previous studies have shown that the thickness of the cerebral cortex, or cortical thickness, closely correlates with intellectual ability. However, no genes had yet to be identified before the study was conducted. This study discovered that the genetic variation is linked to synaptic plasticity, or how neurons communicate. The presence of this gene is found to correlate with higher intelligence and faster synaptic communication. This then suggests that one's ability to understand a situation, whether it be in the natural sciences or in another area of knowledge, is purely due to one's biological predisposition, and therefore faith has no influence on one's understanding. This leads me to another knowledge question. Does faith affect understanding when looking for absolute truths? Using the study from King's College in London, as stated before, we can say that faith does not affect understanding when looking for absolute truths. This is because faith in itself is not absolute. When searching for absolute truths, reason would be a more acceptable way of knowing, because reason deals with black and white, right or wrong, which is what an absolute truth is.
Furthermore, faith is not the sole determinant of one's comprehension of the natural sciences. In fact, there are instances where other factors, like doubt, have a greater effect than faith on the understanding of the natural sciences. For instance, the heliocentric model of the solar system probably wouldn't have introduced so early on in history in 1543 if it weren't for Nicholas Copernicus doubting the preeminent geocentric model, where the Earth was believed to be the center of the solar system. While other astrologers had doubted the geocentric model before, there was never any real evidence to disprove it until Copernicus came along to establish the Sun as the center of our solar system and confirm the heliocentric model. His doubt in the previously acclaimed model drove him to more and more research until he had the metaphysical evidence and mathematical calculations to disprove the geocentric theory of our solar system.
Created using Powtoon.